Both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
56, the mark, boy, 56, check 56.
Play action here with Rosen. Got a man complete to Cedric Wilson. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
A gain of 12. And the Dolphins first down.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. On play action, Rosen. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
First down, Dolphins.
Monday. 56, Mike, 56. Hey, Haywood. Let's make these big cuts.
Now Rosen on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, second and 10. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, there'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Mike 5-5, Mike 55, Mike 5-5.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Devin Bush, the linebacker, was the one there in pass coverage.
Chances are good. He's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a third.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they? On third down, Rosen. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Rosen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. DK Metcalf. His third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that makes the score 7-0. And Lambeau now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Boston Scott, his first carry. Oh, he shifts past him. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
Bringing up 3rd and 12.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing is Murray on third down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
At the 48-yard line.
Here we go.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be. Right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
McCaffrey. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And now it's Rosen looking. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
2nd and 10. It's Rosen again. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. There's no denying they want to get him involved. That's already the 5th time that they've looked his way in this first quarter.
So that tells me defensively that they want to insist on going in that direction. Make sure you got your best people in the area to try and take that away.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Cedric Wilson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And it's now 14-0. And Lambo now, after the touchdown, he'll kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Johnson's got it complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now Scott. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 37-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
James. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
On the ground, McCaffrey. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, 95 yards. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
and again.
and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This will be taken in at the 1. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Come on, fella.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Pick me up. Here we go.
Murray now on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go, ball on the 43. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch twins. Watch twins. Go. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Murray. His throw incomplete. Juju Smith-Schuster, the intended receiver that time. And that'll make it 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
All day, defense, all day, all day.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And an alley to run. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. They'll run on 1st down. Scott. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Scott. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Drop deep, drop deep. 36.
On 1st down, Scott.
I know you feel that.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Quarterback, don't get
On second down, it's Snell. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Oh, here we go. 22, check, cover. 22, check, cover. Zip it. Go now. Mike, check, 59.
On 3rd down, Murray. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Boswell's kick is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. Well, that's something of a pick-me-up. The offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it. Those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
Let's go.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season.
Check 13. Check 13.
They'll run on 1st down. James trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
Single.
2nd down, Murray sets to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
Here we go. Set. 60 out long. Here we go. Tight dog. Here we go.
This is Homer. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And he finds a man on a crossing route. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
52, Mike 52. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
On 2nd and 11 now. Murray throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his big tight end there, Jesse James. And it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Stop your whining.
Rosen will throw. He'll find Metcalf. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A Miami first down on a 14-yard pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And Pittsburgh with 6 defensive backs in the game here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go! Let's go!
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Jim. Check three.
They'll run this with Homer. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 41-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Jerome Baker there on the tackle.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, here's Murray. And the catch made by Johnson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Get in the right room. Go.
Shotgun now from Murray. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they're hanging around here as the lead's down to 12. So his 3rd field goal of the ballgame brings him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And 7s and probably even 8s. You know, as a kicker, you just head out when you're called upon, so he's done his job. It's the rest of the offense that needs to get it in gear if they want to close this gap.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, At any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the gun on third down, it's Rosen. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Rosen now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's first and 10. They go play action. It's Rosen. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
On second and 10, Rosen, and to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on third and inches. Here's McCaffrey. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's fourth down.
Brings up fourth down.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They're going on fourth down. Rosen. They're able to locate Wilson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
56. Mike, 56, right there, 56. Here we go again. 56 to Mike, boys, 56. Check, 56. Now watch one.
Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf. That'll bring up second down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead going to an opposite color jersey.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second and 10. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on third down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Mike, 55. Check, 55, Mike.
From the gun, it's Rosen. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be Incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make this now a 15-point advantage. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone, get you 6?
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check hot route. Hot.
There's Murray. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 47.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Rosen fighting through pressure. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for 3rd. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Hey, tight.
Now Rosen looking to throw. Well, the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This is Josh Lambo. He hit from 57 a year ago. This to make it a 3-score game late. And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this score will stay right where it is.
You can't block me.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Facing this fourth-quarter deficit, felt like they had to throw the ball, and on the other side, they were ready.
No doubt about it. They're playing situational football. They look at the clock, they know the lead that they have, and all they're doing is playing pass on every down.
Playing the pass, picking it off, and now big time in the driver's seat. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's Rosen. Dancing to his left. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Heavy on the edges. Hey, quarter. Hey, check right. Watching the five.
On first down, it's Rosen. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. A great read, and it's picked off. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. To throw, it's Murray. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And the Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5.
Switch.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Murray and company going for it on 4th. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things.
Pressure comes and down goes Rosen.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings, the things that you have to do late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Third and long here for Rosen. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to fourth down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On first down, it's James, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. From the gun, Murray. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the 4th quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Murray sets to throw on 4th. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll keep it on the ground. It's James. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go.
He's got his tight end. That's James. Touchdown, Steelers. Jesse James. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit. Boswell good with the extra point, and that'll make this now an 11-point deficit. So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And the Dolphins are indeed going to get this, and that should all but do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now a run with McCaffrey. And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. The Steelers signal for the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Third down, here's McCaffrey. The ball's out, McCaffrey lost it, and it looks like Steeler football. It is!
Well, that's one of those mistakes. That's a fumble that when they get to the sidelines, I know you're mad, Coach, but look, we've still got this locked down, but that's not necessarily true, is it?
You know, their hopes are slim, but you just hate to give them any hope. You could have sealed it right there.
Yeah, could have finished them off and taken away all hope, as we like to say.
Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense.